We're really excited. So many people were able to attend. This is actually the first time that we've done an all participant Apple webinar. We've done these in the past just for team contacts really early in the process, but that was one of the things that came up from our last Division II only Apple back in February 2024, was it'd be really nice to have this opportunity for everyone to kind of learn a little bit more about weekend. So with that, I'll start off. I'm Susie Bruce, and I'm director of the Gordy Center and the Apple Training Institute at the University of Virginia. I'm very excited to welcome you to Denver in 2 weeks. 2 weeks from today, you will likely already be in Denver. I hope you'll be in Denver because we start at 4:30 and getting close to that time now. As we're getting started, if you want to go ahead and just put in the chat your name, your school, and position, we can sort of learn a little bit about who is here to begin to make some of those connections. For those of you just joining, we are recording this webinar, and both the recording and a PDF of the slides will be available on our website on Monday, and you will all be receiving an email from us Monday afternoon with the links as well as some other important information as you prepare to travel to Denver. So first of all, people often ask, what is Apple? And that stands for Athletic Prevention Programming and Leadership Education. It was started at the University of Virginia back in 1991. Our very first Apple Training Institute was 1992. So we've been doing this for quite some time. We are so excited about our partnership with Division II. This marks 10 years of Division II only Apple Training Institutes. Our first one was in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. So we're excited to be heading west this year. So our focus on at Apple, in other words, why did your school decide to attend? They were nominated. Why does Division II put so much effort and funding into this? Is really that it's a focus on substance misuse in athletics. And that includes other sort of associated issues like hazing and mental health. So we have a lot of strategies to help you network with other Division II schools. You're going to learn a lot from some really amazing national speakers, as well as your peers. We have 2 schools that came to Apple before who are going to share their success stories. And as you can see, we take team photos. So it's always a question, who will be in the Apple costume? You'll get a copy of that when you leave. So there are 7 slices of the Apple model. Really, we look at this as all the different areas that we can impact substance misuse within the college athletics environment. You'll learn much more about that during the weekend of Apple. So it's really about how can you learn about ways to address substance misuse within your department, and specifically that you're going to create an action plan for change. It's not just a conference where you sit and you learn things and you go back. You're going to create an action plan and actually submit it, and then we'll provide you with support and coaching over the course of the next academic year. So your team contact completed a pretty lengthy survey to assess how well your campus is doing in each of these 7 areas. And so your team contact on Monday is going to get those feedback reports as well as how you responded to each of those sets of questions. With that, I'm going to turn it over to our program manager, Kristen, who's going to tell you a little bit more about how to get ready for Apple.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Susie. Hi, guys. My name is Kristen Morris. I am the Apple Program Coordinator, and I also am the Hazing Prevention Coordinator here at the University of Virginia. It's super excited to put some names to faces today. Okay, so getting right into it, preparing for Apple. So we are less than 2 weeks away, and so we're going to talk just a little bit about how you can prepare for Apple and what you need to do now that it is just that much time away. So first and foremost, let's see here. Perfect. Okay, so first and foremost, this is an assignment. We invite you all to ask this question before you come to Apple. So student athletes and administrators, ask 5 people. I say at least 5 people. These can be student athletes, administrators, coaches, can be just about anybody in your department, but ask those people, what are the biggest issues surrounding alcohol and other drugs in our athletics department? Again, this is for everybody. Please try and look for people who are not attending Apple so you can gather different opinions and create a more effective action plan. By bringing those different opinions from the people who are not attending can really drive your conversations over the weekend, as well as how your action plan kind of ends up. Something really cool about Apple this year is that we are doing a community service donation opportunity with the Rocky Mountain Children's Health Foundation. So the foundation services children ages infant to 18. And so we're going to be doing a couple different things. So first we're going to do a toy drive, and then we're also going to be coloring care cards one night for these pediatric patients. When it comes to the list of all the toy drive options, if you're worried about packing items from the donation list, there are locations near Denver or near a hotel technically where you can purchase donations. So there's a Target about a little over half a mile away, and then there's also a CVS about 4 blocks away. So if you're worried about packing those items, you can purchase them in Denver. A couple notes, please only bring new items in their original packaging and do not wrap them. Just bring them as they are. However you purchase them, just bring them and we can donate. And then on Sunday, they will be doing a donation pickup. So someone from Rocky Mountain Children's Health Foundation will come and thank everybody for their donations and the care cards. And so this is going to be a really cool opportunity. Moving right along, so some things on what to bring. So we know that you all probably think way better when you're comfortable. So casual dress is completely fine. If you want to wear sweatpants, if you want to wear leggings, totally fine. We want you all to be comfortable over the course of the weekend. Try to show off your school or sports team, especially if you have a pair of sweatpants with your school athletic department logo on it, wear that. It can be anything, but we encourage you to show off your sports team. This is a photo, so I'll do the photo first. This is a picture of just a part of the gym that is in the hotel. There is just about that much space on the other side of the photo, so it's a very big space. There are tons of other amenities, but this is one we wanted to show. Another thing you should bring with you is a new school t-shirt or a shirt for our t-shirt swap that we'll be doing. So if you're worried about buying one or finding one, we recommend seeing if you have any extra shirts within your athletics department, or if the bookstore could possibly donate one. But we recommend you bring one, bring a new shirt, and that's a really cool little thing that we do in the evenings. Perfect. So, as some of you may or may not know, Denver is known as the Mile High City. You can even see the elevation marker on the steps of the state capitol. And so as a result of this, the air is thinner, the climate is much drier, and the sun is more intense than what you may be used to at home. Because of this, we ask that you get lots of sleep and drink lots of water leading up to Apple and before traveling to Denver. Consider packing some sunscreen as well, as again, the sun might be a little bit more intense than what you're used to. All right, calling all athletic trainers on this slide. We are proud to have secured continuing education units for athletic trainers at Apple. When you get there, please bring your BOC number with you. When you come to register at our table, there will be a sign-up sheet where you can put your name and all the information that we need to be able to record those CEUs for you. And yeah, so more details regarding those athletic trainer CEUs will follow, but for now, definitely bring that BOC number with you. And be prepared to get some continuing education units. Perfect. So a little bit of information on getting to the Sheraton Denver downtown hotel. So the Denver airport is about 26 miles away from the hotel, which is equal to about an hour drive. Let's see here. Sorry, I'm just letting some people in. Perfect. Okay. So there are no shuttles from the airport, but a light rail is offered for about $10 each way per person. Those who are going to take the light rail, you should take the A line to Union Station, which is approximately a 40-minute trip. And then you'll hop on the free mall ride. This is like a little trolley / train, and you can ride that to the street where you'll get off and the hotel is there. What we like to say is give yourselves about an hour and a half, about 90 minutes for travel, unless you are maybe driving. If you are flying, definitely give yourselves at least 90 minutes from when you touch down and get to the light rail to be able to accompany that time. Also, there's a ride share. You can do Uber or Lyft. This might be a little bit more expensive for larger teams, which might require a larger vehicle or potentially 2 cars. So there are tons of different options, but here is what we have. And then for those who are driving, there is discounted hotel self-parking at $30 a day. Here's some other really cool pictures of stuff at the hotel. So there is a Topgolf suite and there's also a rooftop pool. So tons of different opportunities. Also bring a bathing suit if you want to use the rooftop pool. If you don't have an even number of same gender students on your team, they will be assigned a roommate from among the other student athletes attending. When it comes to contacting anybody about rooms for booking, do not contact the hotel. Please contact the Apple staff and we will take care of any room shifts or any booking related things. If you need to arrive early or stay late and you have not already reached out to us or Division II for approval, please contact us as soon as possible so we can make that note and pass it through the hotel as well. Each person, and yes, I mean every single person attending, will need to put a card on file in the event you charge something to the room, as well as incidentals. So this is the hotel's policy, not ours. And so please be sure to either bring a physical card, or if you have tap to pay, that is also an option. So both physical cards and tap to pay work throughout the hotel. Following Apple, an email will be generated. Let me start over. So when it comes to the stipend, so at the very bottom of this slide, a little bit of information on that. So following Apple, an email will be generated, let's see here. So it'll be generated from the NCAA travel system. Using that link, each participant can go back in and request their $100 stipend. You can use this stipend to help cover incidentals such as ground transportation, hotel parking, and meals on your travel days. Please note that the stipend will go to each participant, not the institution. So each person should get a link and receive that stipend. All right, I know we're all thinking about what the food's gonna look like during Apple. And so meals are included through Sunday morning. So from Friday when you get there to Sunday morning, there will be meals. This includes hot breakfasts and snacks. We all love snacks. Who doesn't love snacks? And the only other really important note with this one is if you have a significant allergy and did not note it on your registration form, please, please, please let us know as soon as possible so we can notify the chef. Otherwise, there might not be an option for you. So please just let us know as soon as possible. Perfect. Now I've talked a little bit about preparing for Apple. I'm going to pass it back off to Susie and she'll talk a little bit more about it.
All right. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Now that you know a little bit about the logistics, Kristen covered a lot of the what do you need to bring, what's going to happen, just those kinds of things. We want to share a little bit about why has Division II supported 6 Apple Training Institutes. So we're going to watch a short video. Although it looks like, oh, it's on the next slide. Sorry about that. We're going to watch a really short 2.5-minute video to let you learn from some of our past participants.
I think the best thing Apple's done is it's made our students a part of the solution, and they have the best ideas anyway. So if you want to know what works, you look for the hidden goodness in your Apple population of students.
Attending Apple has impacted our student athletes by empowering them to be a positive voice on campus and giving them information, arming them with information to actually make an impact on their teams and amongst other student athletes. And it also has created kind of a celebrity culture around it, because now students are jockeying to be the student who gets to go next year, which I think also then positively reinforces those behaviors we want to see.
What Apple does is it drips in these wonderful new ideas and strategies, and they ripple all across the country. So Apple brings people together. They see the good ideas about policies, they see the research on what works, and then students adapt it to their campus, and it ripples quickly.
I think when you attend Apple, it is such a great resource. You leave here with an action plan. You're having open conversations with student athletes and administration, sharing ideas and networking with other schools, the peer-to-peer education, and the mentoring of the University of Virginia.
One, it's a great experience. You meet new people, you get to learn different schools, what they're doing, what's worked for them, and it's a fun time. The speakers are definitely great all around.
Initially, they're very excited once they get back and they want to do things. So I think it's really empowered them to make change on our campus.
We really just, took all the tools that Apple gave us and we really implemented them to our campus to make a difference. And our athletic department is really making steps to help our student athletes and improve our experience. And I really think that Apple has a huge impact on that.
but you spend a lot of time as a core group, and that really builds a bond on your team and a responsibility to each other, and that I think translates to the work we can then do back on campus.
The model of Apple's unique. People don't just come and listen to talks, they actually interact and bring out their own best ideas, and it's kind of a merger of things.
I think Apple's just a great opportunity for campuses. It's so cost effective for smaller schools that don't have budgets to travel a lot, and it's such a great opportunity for our student athletes to meet other students and realize that they're all going through similar experiences, and that's very normalizing for them, which they may not experience in their day-to-day.
You're going to gain a ton of knowledge, you're going to get a ton of tools. I'd really recommend coming to Apple, it's a great time.
Great. So after hearing sort of our little promo from a variety of different student athletes and administrators who've come, I'm actually going to stop sharing screen for a moment because one of our participants for this year is Katrina DeVore, who's the Senior Associate Athletic Director for Internal Operations and the Senior Women Administrator at Lenore Ryan University. And Katrina has come several times to Apple and had really successful teams. So I've invited her to share just a few minutes about what has she found, kind of thinking back to when the first time she came to Apple, because we know that I think we have 15 out of 187 people coming to Apple that have ever been before. So it can be a little overwhelming. So she's just going to share for a moment about her experience and her kind of advice for schools. Stop sharing. Sorry. There we go.
All right, you ready for me?
Yes.
All right, so like Susie said, this coming up Apple will be my third Apple. Very excited to bring my third group. Like every time we come back, the student athletes are so energized and ready to enact change on campus, which is a really fun thing to watch and be involved in. So just my pieces of advice over the past two experiences that I've had, we learned with my first group. So the first time I came to Apple, it was two student athletes who I already had an established relationship with. One of them I was the athletic trainer for. So kind of had that ability to start conversation, but we learned really quickly they were both introverted. And so starting conversation could be quite challenging. But really just setting the scene for them that there are no bad ideas, that Apple is for them. And we as administrators and athletic trainers and coaches we're here to provide them resources for whatever ideas they have. And so just kind of giving them the floor to run with it. And exploring ideas and things that they think would be really beneficial. So then the second time, we added in a more introverted student or more extroverted student athlete, which really helped carry the conversation. And she got in the Apple suit. So, that was great. So, between our first visit and now, we've actually started an Apple group on campus. So every sport has representatives. We have regular standing meetings. And I think what drives our Apple experience is empowering them that they are who is providing the education. And so it looks like whatever they want it to look like. What matters to you as a student athlete right now in your experience, and what do you think your teammates need to hear? And that's been a really, really fun experience to watch them grow and feel empowered to bring ideas forward. And so, you'll hear it at Apple, but what happens what's said at Apple stays at Apple. So if your student athlete needs to bring up a topic of, oh, well, one time when we were hosting a recruit, X, Y, and Z may have happened. Well, we're not here to judge that, and we're here to, how can we learn and grow and move forward? And so kind of providing them with that platform of, we can talk about whatever you want to talk about, because these things do happen and it's important for us to know and how we can improve your experience. So I would say the biggest things are letting them know the floor is open. They can talk about whatever they want to talk about, even if they're thinking it and it feels silly, someone else might be thinking the same thing. And when we have these conversations, it can spark new ideas. And so just allowing that open dialogue. Also setting meetings setting the meeting before you leave Apple so that they know there's an action item, clearly defining the roles of who's going to do what when we get back to school. So I, as their administrator, will always say, if you need space to meet, I've got you. If you need, if a coach isn't responding to you, let me know. But here are the things I need you all to do as student athletes to lead the Apple charge. So it's a really fun experience coming into it with an open mind and just really watching them think through things and work. And probably the biggest recruiting tool for me and Apple is we used to do vector modules, which nothing against vector, but my student athletes hate modules. And so the first year when I wanted to start modules, I said, if you hate modules, come be an Apple rep and we can get rid of them. And I got a lot of volunteers just from that. So have a really great group, really excited to attend Apple again. And thank you for Apple for everything you do.
Thank you so much, Katrina. And I love that creativity piece. And hopefully that gets folks inspired, especially our student athletes on the call, to be like, this is an opportunity to hear from you. You are the experts on student culture. And I think that's great that if you want to get rid of modules, here's how to do it. Here's how to step up and take leadership. So thank you so much. I appreciate you being willing when I asked and you'll hear from some other returning team contacts at Apple as well. So let me get back into our present mode. Here we go. Great. So a few more things about what's going to happen at Apple and then some final wrap-ups as we finish up this webinar. So as you've heard a lot, you're going to create this customized action plan around substance misuse. You will be submitting that by email. So your team contact, you'll all create it. The team contact will submit that by email on Sunday. So here's what happens when you get there. You've heard a little bit about the logistics. This is 2 hotels in one. So the Sheraton downtown Denver, which is part of Marriott, which is why the Marriott app is there, is 2 hotels on either side of the street. So when you register, you can do it through the Marriott app. We know a lot of people probably prefer just going to check in. That is going to be the building that has these fire pits out front. The side over here, the I Am Pay Tower, is where our conference meetings will be. We have requested that all of your lodging rooms will be in this building. So we are working as much as we can with the hotel for that. You can see right here is a enclosed pedestrian bridge. There's also one underneath. So it's very easy to go back and forth between the buildings. But we just wanted to make you aware ahead of time. If you get dropped off, you're like, wait, where am I going? Hotel registration one side, all of our conference rooms are on the other. As you see, the rooms aren't guaranteed before 4 p.m. We start at 4:30. We actually pushed it back to make sure everyone can at least get in their rooms. We are working with the hotel for those of you that are arriving early to hopefully have some rooms early and get you checked in and into your rooms earlier. We'll be available at check-in if you want to check in with us first, starting at 2 o'clock. And again, we're in this building, and the levels where we are actually sort of the below ground levels. So every single person must check in. You get a nice little welcome bag, you get your t-shirt, you get all sorts of swag. So, in fact, here's some of the cool swag. So everyone gets a t-shirt. This year, we've got some really cool collapsible backpacks and sticker sheets, among other things. So lots of fun stuff. So throughout the weekend, we realize our audience is student athletes. So over half the people at Apple are student athletes. I'm the parent of a student athlete. I realize y'all don't want to be sitting around the whole time. We try to get you up and moving around and engaging. We talk with all of our speakers about making it engaging, talking with other people. How does this apply to you? So as you see, lots of different topics that we'll be covering. But it is a training institute, so it's a curriculum. And then there's also kind of other pieces. We want to make sure you get to network with other people. So a little bit about the schedule very quickly. Friday, you saw a check-in 2 to 4:15. The first session is right at 4:30. We have a separate one for administrators and one for student athletes. We feed you well, as you saw. There's an orientation to meet new people. Again, if you're having any travel delays, we send that to our team contacts. Please, let us know. You'll get that in the email on Monday, who to text. We'll make sure you still get dinner, even if you miss the official dinner time. Linda Hancock will be back. She's been with us since almost every Apple since 1992. Just really engaging, inspiring speaker. And then we'll have that t-shirt swap, as you see here, and some fun evening activities for those of you that are still up. Saturday's a really long day. We realize that you will get a very long lunch break. It's 2 hours, so lunch is available for an hour, and then you get an hour on your own if you want to nap, you want to run, you want to do whatever. You just need to unplug. You'll get to meet with other folks in your role at lunchtime, and then we'll have some fun evening activities. Again, these are optional because I know if you're an introvert, you're like, too many people, too much talking. I just need to go somewhere else. So it's low key, but not, it's for our extroverts who are still wanting to meet new people, but not required. And then on Sunday, we're very excited that Dr. Allison Smith will be joining us for a very inspiring Sending You Home keynote about collaboration. Student athletes will be delivering their 1-minute elevator pitches based on the action plans that you've been created. Again, that's challenge by choice, but we started that last year and was hugely successful. Checkout is at 11 a.m. So for those of you that have flights, just be aware of that because we don't end till 11:15. But you will be able to bring your bags down that morning and store those. And then, of course, you get your team photo when you turn in your action plan. And I'm going to give it to Kristen for our last couple of reminders.
Cool. All right. So some last reminders here. So this is a picture of the Apple app. So we have a website and a conference app that comes along with Apple. And this is a great way to make connections with other schools, with speakers. You'll also have access to all of the session materials. And it's also where you will complete a lot of the surveys. So we'll ask a lot of times for you to evaluate the breakout sessions that you attended. And it really just helps us and our presenters get the feedback. Let's see here. So you will receive an email from Cvent on Monday, September 8th with a link to set up your Cvent account. If you have not used Cvent before, definitely look out for this email. If you do not receive an email from Cvent, please reach out to us, the Apple staff, for any assistance. We'd be happy to help you get that figured out. All right. Okay, so I saw a question in the chat about this, and I definitely wanted to make it an announcement as well. So there will be an email coming out on Monday as well. You will receive an email with a SparkNotes version of this webinar, as well as a link to the webinar recording, the slides, and you will also have some frequently asked questions and their answers in that email. Team contacts, you're going to receive a second email with your school's baseline assessment results, as well as some more detailed travel information. Aside from that, team contacts, you will get a total of 3 emails on Monday, so definitely be looking out for each and every one. The confidential campus assessment results and the travel information are 2 separate emails, so you'll get that and the SparkNotes email as well. A little bit about last minute changes and cancellations. Please email the Apple staff if you have any questions, any changes to your team, if you're experiencing any travel delays, or if you have any questions. If a team member cancels and no one is able to replace them, the attendee will be responsible for travel and lodging reimbursements. And then lastly, airfare changes are also at the school's expense. So if you have any questions about that, feel free to ask. We'll have a session or a little time here in just a second to ask questions. But that's a little bit about last minute changes. I'm going to leave this up for just a little second if anybody wants to go ahead and follow our Instagram. We've already posted a lot of information about Apple so far, including us as a team, a lot about our breakout session presenters, which might be a little way of looking into into who you may want to go and see during Apple, and then a little bit about our 3 keynote speakers. Let's see here. A lot of other info and reminders will be posted on Instagram, so I do highly recommend following us. And as a reminder, this webinar is currently being recorded and will be posted in that email, as well as a PDF of the slide deck on Monday. A link to that, this recording will be in that Monday email. I'll give you all just a couple more seconds in case you want to follow. And last but certainly not least, now is the time to kind of open it up to you all. If you have any questions, now's the time. You can either drop it in the chat or unmute. Other than that, we want to thank you for coming out today. We're super excited about Apple and super excited to work with you all in just a little under 2 weeks. So any questions, feel free.